Hello, happy Friday, the first Friday of week 1 of our Healthy Living group. I'm so excited that you decided to join me today in a short 15-minute at-home workout. So before we get started, a little bit about me. I'm just gonna mix my hydration and a watermelon fizz to get started. I am a certified level 2 CrossFit instructor. I've been teaching CrossFit and functional fitness for over 10 years now. I absolutely love this style of training because it is just that. It is teaching you how to be functional in everyday lifestyle. So today we're going to pick 3 movements within our 15 minutes. It's going to be called an EMOM. So every minute on the minute, we are going to perform 1 movement. Today we're going to spread out however that looks like for you in terms of the level of output or your experience or where you're at, how long you want to work for. So it's going to be anywhere between 30 to maybe 45 seconds of movement. You can go as quickly as you want, you can move as slowly as you want. I'm going to give you variations of what you can use for extra intensity in terms of weight or load, as well as if you're someone who isn't super comfortable with any additional weight except for your body weight. This is an at-home program, so if you don't have access to weights, I'm going to give you some suggestions and tips on what you can use instead, or next to nothing if that suits you. So the first movement we're going to do today is going to be a plank shoulder tap. So what that's going to look like is I'm going to set myself up. This plank is going to be a high plank, so I'm on the toes and I'm going to be on my hands, okay? So I'm really pressing the floor away, keeping the midline and my tummy nice and tight. And I'm going to alternate tapping my hand to the opposite shoulder in that plank position. So from the front angle, it looks like this. Okay, so I'm squeezing the leg, squeezing the bum, and I'm going to rotate and alternate, arms. That's going to be our plank shoulder tap. At any point in time throughout the workout, if you want to give that a try and it's a little bit too challenging, we can hold at just a top plank. You can hold a plank on the elbows, and we can also scale this plank with from the knees. Okay, so all of those are more than okay. Pick a substitution that works for you, and we're going to work again for 30 to 40 seconds. Movement number 2 is going to be, we're going to target the legs and the glutes here. And we're going to do a reverse lunge. So our movement number 2 for the lunge, I'm going to start with my feet shoulder width and hip width apart. If maybe you have a broader stance, a little bit outside is okay. And today we're going to do reverse step lunges. So I'm going to take 1 step back, going to plant that toe down and the heel, going to drop the back knee. So I'm at a 90 degree with the front and a 90 degree with the back. I'm going to squeeze the hips, squeeze the glutes, and I'm going to press those 2 points of contact on the floor, so front heel and back toe, up until I'm at the top. I'm going to bring that foot back to my starting position, and I'm going to alternate. Okay, so from the side, again, step back. I'm coming down nice and controlled. And for this variation, okay, if you have extra weight and you want to hold those, that's great. You can hold it in front. Do a farmer carry on the side if you have access to light weights at home, or you want to hold grocery bags or things with a little bit of weight if you want that extra challenge. Our last movement, so the third movement, is going to be a shoulder press. So I have 2 dumbbells here. I'm going to rack them just on my shoulders. So I'm just going to place the dumbbell heads on my shoulders. I'm going to squeeze the legs, bum, and tummy, and I'm just going to reach up until that weight is stacked over my head. So what that looks like is the wrist, the shoulder, and the elbows, the hips, the knees, and the ankles are all in line. If you have no weights, that is okay. Like I said, grab, a grocery bag, a Lulu bag, toss like a bunch of bananas or something, or a couple oranges or whatever it is in the bags, and you're gonna hold them like I showed you, like you're about to put on a backpack, and then you're just gonna press them up to the ceiling and back down. So how this is going to go is we're going to move for 15 minutes. We're going to rotate those movements, starting with the plank shoulder tap, lunges, and then followed by the shoulder press. And we're only working for about 30 to 45 seconds within that minute. So that every other minute, we are starting the next movement. So how this translates is there's about 5 sets, there's exactly 5 sets of each of these 3 movements. Again, take breaks if you need it. Move as slowly or as quickly as feels comfortable for you. And I absolutely love at-home workouts because you don't need a lot of space, you don't need a lot of equipment, if any, and you don't need a lot of time. That's one thing I absolutely love about doing EMOMs is it forces me out of standing around, resting longer than I want to for the reps that I put in. So you're really gonna notice here how you can do a lot of work in only 15 minutes, which is great. I have a 1 and a 3-year-old. I don't have a lot of time some days. This is easy, you could squeeze in a lunch break at home. So we're gonna get started here. So I'm gonna start my clock. If you're joining me, feel free, live, feel free to put on your own music. I'll do this without, so I can chat through and coach through the workout, but we're gonna get started. All right, about 10 seconds, set up your favorite songs, and we're gonna get started here. All right, starting with those plank shoulder taps. So right now, I'm focusing on squeezing my quads, squeezing my hips and my bum, and I'm really pressing that floor away. A nice star or high 5 print on the floor, spreading those fingers out to get as much stability within that hold. And as I'm going through here, you guys, we're almost at 30 seconds. I'm really focusing on trying not to rotate or like dip my hips. I really want to stabilize that core. So that's 35 seconds. Keep going if you want. I'm really stabilizing that core so we're not getting that rotation. So this is awesome. Okay, that's 45 seconds, so we'll rest. This gives us time to transition into our next movement. So I'm gonna grab my dumbbells here for the reverse lunges. We'll do a bit of a side profile so you can see the form. 3, 2, 1, okay. Again, if you're doing this on your own, I encourage you to count the repetitions that you accumulate in your 30 to 45 second window so that you can kind of see as you move through your rounds. So there's 5. You can see for yourself if you're maintaining a pace or an output that is consistent. No problem if you went a little too fast or maybe held back a little bit more, about 10 more seconds in your first couple rounds to see how you feel. But this way you can gauge your own output across the 15 minutes. And that's 45 seconds. All right, I need my dumbbells again. So the next one is just a press. So if you're using weights, great, you can add 2 water bottles. We're gonna bring those to the shoulders and we're just gonna press. So again, this is a shoulder and an arm part of the workout. So I am using my core to stabilize. I am squeezing my feet, my quads, my bum, and I'm really trying to keep my ribs kind of tucked down a little bit so I don't want to open up and flare open the ribs. I'm really trying to squeeze the bum and tuck the ribs down as I reach over my head. It's 35 seconds. Five more seconds. And good. So I'm not counting here as I'm talking, but I'm already sweating. It's been 3 minutes. So all we're gonna do now is repeat that for 4 more rounds. So we're back to that plank. I'll show a different variation this time in case someone's looking for a scaling option. So we're gonna get in that plank. In this one, I'm just gonna hold. So if you wanna keep going with the shoulder taps, alternate your hand to the opposite shoulder, but a high plank is also okay. So again, I'm really keeping the bum squeezed. My wrist is underneath the shoulder and hands are shoulder width apart from each other. I'm thinking about pushing my toes down That's my point of contact at the back. And also almost even trying to like stretch the heels down, and then squeezing the quads and the bum. That's 40 seconds, and rest. Whew, okay. So that's an option there too. In 10 seconds, we're going to those lunges. So second set of lunges. I'll go from the front this time. All right, here we go. So as you can see, this timed workout, 15 minutes, every minute on the minute. There's a little bit of built-in rest, about 15 to 20 seconds, depending on when you've decided to break for yourself. And this allows enough time for me to rest, but also keeps me accountable to keep moving, which is really important when we don't have a lot of time and we're looking for a good, sweaty workout. We do want to challenge ourselves to keep moving. It doesn't have to be super fast, super heavy, but just moving in general, intentionally for those 15 minutes, that's 45 seconds. You're gonna start to get that heart rate up, you're gonna start to sweat, and that's what we're looking for, so that's perfect. Also, keeps me from standing around when I'm by myself to do an at-home workout. All right, shoulder presses. Whenever you're ready, grab your bags, grab your weights. Can also show you if you find both at the same time, you need a little bit of a break. You can alternate. So I'm really keeping those elbows pointed forward at the wall in front of me. It's 20 seconds. So you can also give your other shoulder a break by alternating your reps. Again, squeezing my bum and really driving and making a big punch up to the ceiling. It's 35 seconds, hang in there. I am sweating, and we're just about to close out round 2. All right, and break. If you're someone that also has bands, I'll go grab mine, I'll show you for the next round. We can do a banded press, which is also okay. All right, back to the plank. I'll show a third variation in case we're getting tired. I'm gonna go from the elbows. So from the elbows, okay, same thing. I find this harder than from the high top plank. So elbows are underneath the shoulder. My hips are square. I'm squeezing the legs, and I'm really trying to keep myself from doing a little bit of a tent, okay? I'm not really engaging the hamstrings there at all or the core. And I really want to avoid sinking down, which is straining the low back. So squeeze, you're kind of thinking of like a Halloween cat a little bit, pressing those shoulders up to the ceiling. 40 seconds. 2, 1. Rest. So you're kind of thinking about that like Halloween cat when we're in those plank tops. All right, I'll show you a different variation. If you want to switch from 2 weights to 1 for your lunges, you can hold 1 weight, kind of keeping it close to your chest, and we're gonna go. Again, I'm moving pretty steady. I mean, I think I'm probably getting anywhere between 10 to 15 reps between the lunges and those presses, based off of doing some of these kind of workouts before. But I'm really not sprinting, I am just focusing on picking a pace that allows me to keep moving. And that is gonna build over time. We're about halfway through this workout, you guys. Keep it up. At any time, you need to stop at 30 seconds, that's okay. And rest. All right. So after this will be round 3, and then we only have 2 left. So I'll show the banded press. I'm gonna step back, the middle of my shoes in this band, and I'm gonna throw the band up over my shoulder like I were putting on a backpack, whenever you're ready. I'm gonna press up to the ceiling. So if you have bands, you have a light enough resistance. Okay, again, trying to keep those ribs down. It's about 15 seconds. And then we would just switch arms. So depending on what you have available to you, you can do a lot with things you just have at home. If you're joining me live, when I posted this recording, I'm doing it the day before. I have somewhere to be on Friday, but I didn't want to miss out on being here with you guys and rest. Drop in the comments what you used, what you found challenging, what you kind of makeshifted for yourself. It can just be anything that is an object, which is great. All right, set number 4 of our planks. We're back at the top of this workout. Okay, so up in that top plank, I'm gonna add those shoulder taps. Again, moving with control, and I'm really focusing, you guys, on those points of contact in the ground. So when I remove a hand, I'm down to those 3 points, and I want to try and lean into that instead of rotating and twisting my hips. I'm gonna get the most out of that plank tap by keeping the core as stable as possible. 10 more seconds. All right, rest. Hi, Nate. All right.
Come here.
You're gonna come in here and do the lunges? Okay, come here. All right, when you're ready, I'm also gonna show you a weightless lunge as well. Okay, it's just down. I'm really trying to keep the shoulders stacked on those hips so that, yeah, I am doing it. So that I'm keeping a nice upright torso. Hey, babe.
Mommy, have fizz.
I have a fizz.
Good
20
job.
seconds. Thank you.
I'll come in here.
See, not even 15 minutes without an interruption, but if they want to join, we're not moving crazy weights around. I'm not doing anything that they can't join in on, which we do allow here too. Okay, and last one, rest. I'm sweating. Take a sip of my hydration. Love, love, love this combo. The electrolytes in there. We're sweating. And that energy fizz, so good. All right, back to shoulders. Whenever you're ready. Again, feet are shoulder width apart. And you can speed this up. So the faster you go, inevitably the more repetitions you're going to do in the window of time that we've set out for everybody. And this is where intensity varies person to person based on experience, energy levels, skill levels, proficiency with the movements. And that's what I love about this, is anyone can do this and still get a good, sweaty, full body workout in. Love that. All right, math for me. I think we got one more round. Back to the planks. We're almost there, you guys. So that's only about 3 minutes left to sweat and to work. So I encourage you that if you have a little bit more in the tank and you want to make a movement more challenging that you haven't tried, or speed up maybe your lunges to get in a few extra reps on each leg, if that feels good to you, go ahead, because we are almost done. If you've been working at 30 seconds comfortably but still sweating and you want to push for an extra 10, get in another rep, go ahead. Almost there. Okay. Rest. All right, 2 more. I hope I'm not the only one sweating this badly, you guys, okay? You have to let me know that I am not alone. Really focus on those deep breaths too as we rest. All right, last set of the lunges. I am choosing just to keep the same consistent pace for me. Want to keep that stability in my posture, that coordination. If we speed things up, sometimes we kind of push that envelope on quality of movement, which at times is okay to know where our threshold is. But we always want to work within an envelope within a range that does push us, but that we are moving with quality over quantity and speed. 45 seconds, time that. Okay, last one. I'm gonna do 2 dumbbells. All right, this is our last one. Shoulder press. When you're ready, 2, 1, press. I'm so proud of everyone for showing up today. If you're watching this back later in the day, let me know. And it just feels so good to get the heart rate up, sweat, and get on with the day without needing a big fancy space or program. You can substitute a workout like this with so many different movements. A couple more seconds, and that's 45 seconds. Woo! Okay, I'm like literally so sweaty. Take a deep breath. Good job, you guys. Doing a lot with a little is my jam. I'm so excited to have popped in here with you guys. I can't wait to do the next one. We'll be doing different movements, maybe a different format. I'd love to know how you felt doing this. Recovery is super important when we exercise, when we work our muscles. Take some time to stretch, get in your protein, get in those electrolytes, get in lots and lots of water, have a good hearty meal, especially if you're not someone who's used to sweating. Honestly, even just for 15 minutes, really focus on that recovery, the muscle recovery. I love that. We use that all the time to help repair that muscle tissue so that you're getting the most out of the time you intentionally set aside for working out. So thank you so much. We'll see you next week.